Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the $1 Million Challenge. So in today's video, we are going to do a quick recap as to some of the news that has been going on in the markets over the past week and a half or so, some important news. So we're going to touch on some few things. We're going to touch up on Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. And you know, Activision Blizzard, they make a lot of games, a lot of mobile games, and Microsoft basically is buying them for about $68 billion. And we're just going to go over some of that today. First thing first, here, we can see that Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the US stock market. In fact, their market cap, that's the market capitalization, is $2.3 trillion. One of the biggest company in the stock market. So let's just get that out of the way first. So on that news here, we see that Activision stock shot up really high. Now, the price that Microsoft is buying Activision for, it's about $95. Okay, investors are not pushing up the stock to about $95 just because Microsoft is such a huge company. You know, this whole project needs to go through regulatory approval. One of the reasons why I think investors are not bidding up the stock all the way to about $95 is because there's that regulatory risk that maybe the government will not approve this merger between both companies, because Microsoft is actually paying a ton of money for this company. If you take a quick look here at Microsoft earnings here, we can see that they are a money printing machine. Basically, their revenue keeps on going up just because they have the SaaS revenue model. Like, they charge monthly service for pretty much all the things that they do. You can see the revenue just keep on going up and up and up and up. So they basically have the money to be able to go in and just purchase this company outright, buy cash. I'm going to show you guys really quickly what their cash position is looking like. But let's take a quick look at this. In the year 2021, they made a total of $61 billion. They have a lot of products and a lot of services, but I think this purchase is actually a pretty good purchase for the company. I think over time it will increase the revenue that the company makes. So if you take a quick look at this one right here, you can see that they made $61 billion. Now, with the Activision acquisition, I think the company should add another $2 billion or so, because I'm going to show you guys how much Activision actually makes as compared to Microsoft, and how much is going to increase, how much this acquisition is going to increase their income by. So if you take a quick look here, this is Microsoft's income, basically balance, right? They have a cash available balance of $330 billion. They have $50 billion in debt, and the net cash that's available right now to them is about $80 billion. Now, I think they are going to use a mix of both. They're going to use a mix of borrowing money and also using cash to purchase this thing. So, because I mean, interest rate is low. Interest rate is low right now. It's going to be a good thing for the company. Let me show you guys really quickly what the revenues are, how much amount of money this will add to their revenue. So this is Activision's data right here, the game company that Microsoft is buying. If you take a quick look, you know, their cash position right now is $9 billion. They have debt, so they owe $3 billion. So Microsoft will be assuming this debt is going to go to Microsoft's debt once Microsoft purchased this company. And then you have their net. This is their net asset, amount of money that they have after their debt and everything like that. It's $6 billion. Really good. You know what I mean? This is really good. They pay a tiny little dividend. Microsoft pays dividend as well. But let's take a quick look at these numbers for Microsoft. Microsoft right up here, net balance that they have is $80 billion. Now, once they purchase Activision Blizzard, they're gonna have this $6 billion that is gonna get added to their net asset, net cash. So this will push it up to $86 billion. And then we in 2022 now, the year 2022. So whatever they're gonna make this year. So that means there's every likelihood that by the end of this year into next year, Microsoft should have about net amount of money available to them of close to $100 billion easily, based off of this acquisition alone, and plus whatever money they're going to make this year. Because on average, let's take a quick look at the revenue here. On average, they make about let's take a quick look at the revenue here. On average, they make about $44 billion on average every quarter. So if you analyze this, take a quick look at it, $165 billion every year. So this cash position for Microsoft can be a huge thing in the future. I think by the end of this year, they should be getting to about 100 billion in net cash position. So I think this acquisition, it's a good thing. I support it as a Microsoft investor. So taking a look at my current holdings, what I have for Microsoft here, I'm gonna increase my purchases of Microsoft. I think with that acquisition, their prospects, their numbers look good for the future in terms of the amount of money that they're gonna make. Now, this is not a detailed analyzation of Microsoft and Activision. I'm just looking at the peripheral things, because at the end of the day, when you're a company or an individual, what matters the most is how much money you owe someone and how much money you have left. And whatever money you have left, you put it into things, product and services that other people pay you for, so you can make more money. Now, Microsoft has never really been the type to have a lot of gaming situation. I mean, they have their they've been in gaming, but now they're gonna go into mobile gaming with this Activision purchase. So I think right now this Microsoft stock, it's basically undervalued in my opinion. If they're gonna be adding about 20 to 30 billion dollars in net assets by the end of this year, I think maybe the stock will see maybe a $50 to $60 push, and this will bring it close to Apple being at least close to 3 trillion. I don't know how long that would take, but I'm going to be investing more into Microsoft. You can see right here, it pays a tiny little dividend, so it pays okay. I still have about $900 to put in, so I think I will start by putting that $900. Put that in there, let it work. Because if we take a quick look at Ultram here, you guys see that the stock is even way lower than what it was at this point, which is roughly about 340. Plus this acquisition, it could give it a huge bump towards the end of the year. So I'm gonna stick with purchasing a little bit more of Microsoft. Like I said, this year I'm buying tech. Tech is my main thing that I'm gonna buy this year. So I'm gonna focus a lot of that money into Microsoft. So I don't want this video to be long, so I'm just gonna end that section there where I talk about Microsoft acquiring Activision. I think Microsoft acquiring Activision is a good thing. Like, they are a good company. They're trying to get into the mobile gaming business, and Activision have a lot of games, World of Warcraft and all these things. So like, it's gonna help Microsoft grow as a business. I think with this acquisition should give Microsoft, by the end of this year, at least a huge cash position by the end of this year. So I'm happy and excited about the deal. Hopefully the deal goes through the US government. They allow it to go through. That's the only issue right now. If the government don't allow it to go through, then there's nothing anybody can do. But I think there's every likelihood that the government will let it go through, just because like it's like they're not really competing. They're not really competing. It's not like Microsoft by buying Activision. It's not like Microsoft is going to be this huge monopoly, because Microsoft is not actually like the number 5 of I think they like number 5, but they're not in the top 3 globally. None of the American companies in the top 3 when it comes to creating mobile gaming in general. So this would be good for Microsoft, and just a competitive landscape for American businesses in general. So that's my take on Microsoft and all that stuff. So yeah, if you like this content, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, stay tuned. Lots more videos still to come. You know, the goal of the channel is to share with you what I'm doing, and what I'm doing, you know, that is the goal of the channel, to show you my process of getting to the first million. So if you vibe with that, please stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, see you later. Love you all. Bye.